Welcome to Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is in my opinion and not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe. In a recent live stream, we discussed another fascinating layer of Meghan Markle's life before royalty, her first marriage to Trevor Engelson. I read a couple of excerpts from Lady Colin Campbell's book describing the wedding ceremony and her family's reaction to her marriage. And I also asked some important questions of the members in the live stream. I'm curious to know what your answers are, so please drop them in the chat and sit back, relax, and enjoy this clip. So yesterday we talked about Trevor Engelson and the secrecy of Meghan's marriage to him, or the wedding in particular, from Tom Bower's book Revenge. And we talked about how the wedding was kept secret. So they got married in a civil ceremony and that was kept secret. The wedding itself, Meghan didn't allow people to take pictures. And when she got her hands on the video of the wedding, she destroyed it. So what I wanted to do today is now go to Lady C's book about the same event. So Lady Colin Campbell's book is titled Meghan and Harry, The Real Story. And, Lady C doesn't, from the excerpt that I got to, she doesn't really talk about secrecy, but she talks about Meghan being a little bit high maintenance. So this is what I want to do. I want to start off with Lady C and the describing what happened between Meghan and Trevor. And then I have 5 questions ready to go too. So that's kind of how I want to start this. I hope that's okay with everyone. Okay, so let's go back to those pictures from yesterday, and you guys can see that. And I'm gonna get into the book. Oh, let me see some chats here. Only Me says Lady C is not too credible in my book anymore, not since the big reveal in the spring. Her book. I don't know exactly what happened there, and I just really want to compare what was said, and actually I think what I'll read you sounds like Meghan, but that's what we'll analyze. We'll talk about, does this sound like Meghan? Does this sound like her behavior? And what does that say about her? Lee says, oh my goodness, she's been constantly lying and covering things up all her life. It must be exhausting being Rachel Ragland. I know. Hi, Ocean Gal. Glad you're here. Hi, Space Cat. Glad you're here. Hi, Squeegee. Koala agrees with Only Me and says, good day, Squeegee. Yeah, so I'm gonna read I'm only gonna read 2 paragraphs and I'm gonna jump around a little bit. Okay, so it starts off with, nor was success limited to what was happening on the screen. At the end of the shoot, Meghan and Trevor flew to Belize where he asked her to marry him. She accepted without demur. She was marrying up, in quotation marks, as her brother Tom Jr. observed. If Trevor thought he was also nailing her down in case she became the star she had always wanted to be, time would show him how mistaken he was. That was on page 86. Now I'm going to go to page 87. And it says, in the midst of all this activity, she was also planning her wedding to Trevor, which was due to be held on September 10th, 2011, at the picturesque Ocho Rios Hotel Jamaica Inn, whose main feature is one of the finest beaches on the island. Although Meghan availed herself of the services of its in-house wedding planner, she kept her finger firmly on the pulse. She is a control freak, a member of the staff said. She was very exacting in her demands. Although she was perfectly pleasant, she left no room for doubt. What she wanted, she intended to get. She and Trevor had taken over the entire hotel for a 4-day blast, paid for in part by Tom Sr. The least part of the event would turn out to be their wedding ceremony, which took all of 15 minutes. The rest of the time was dedicated to hard partying and fun activities such as wheelbarrow races. What I take away from that is a couple of things. The first is that Tom Jr. is saying that she married up and that Trevor wanted to, in quotations, nail her down. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Then I wanted to talk about what is going on with her controlling behavior and about the strangeness of the ceremony not even being the biggest part of the event. What does that mean in terms of their relationship? What does that mean for Meghan and all of that? So let me get caught up on the chat. Koal says, Lady C said she had a big reveal in the spring and came up with nothing burger like the German documentary. And I wonder, I mean, if that's what happened with Lady C, I wonder if it's similar to what happened with the German documentary where allegedly lawyers might have gotten involved, right? Only Me says there's an interview on The Take before Harry where she talked of having had a hysterectomy at 28 or 29 years of age over on, I don't know what AKOW means, Only Me. Hi, Kelly, I'm glad you're here. Space Cat says, sometimes I think I see fear on her face. I wonder if it's because she could be exposed at any time. It could be. It could be. She's not good at hiding her feelings. Kelly says, good day. Koala says, good day, Kelly. Lee says, Lady C said big reveal in the spring, but she never said which spring. That's a good point. Meghan said it was going to be her year, but she didn't specify which year. Oh my gosh. Koala says, I saw that, Only Me, but couldn't remember where. Only Me says, Space Cat, Moonbeam, exactly. Flamingo, Lee says. Koala says, that's very possible, Space Cat. Steven says, all the guests received, yes, they did. And I didn't want to go into that, but that's an incredibly selfish thing to do because you could get people in trouble for that, traveling internationally, you know? All kinds of wrong. Is that a YouTube channel? Okay, Only Me says it's a YouTube channel. I haven't heard of that one. Okay, so I'll go into the first question I have for all of you. And I wonder, what do you think about Tom Jr.'s comment, marrying up? Like, do you think Meghan thought she was marrying up? Does the family think she was marrying up? Do you think Meghan herself thought that she was marrying up? Kelly says, hi, Koala. Okay, so yes, it is. So AKOW is a YouTube channel. Sue says, such a short ceremony and then onto the party, which shows how shallow her feelings are. Exactly. And that was going to be one of the questions I'm going to ask you. Sue, you beat me to it. I wanted to talk about that. And then I'll ask that in a little bit. But it also, I think it kind of plays hand in hand with the other things that I was going to ask. Koala says, good day, Kelly. Only Me says she was a yacht girl, allegedly. Of course she was marrying up. Kelly thought all the Markles thought she was marrying up, which is funny because I feel like Tom Sr. almost, just from what I've seen, I'm not sure, but he almost believes like no one is good enough for his daughter. I don't know if you guys get that vibe also. Lee says, oh, forgot about him. Tom Jr. very, very quiet these days. Yeah. Stephen says Meghan was marrying access to suits. Yeah. Shandy says Trevor is successful, looking into him. Very good films. Oh, that's interesting. I haven't seen his films. Koala says, are we all going to be in sync again today? I think so. Oh, no worries, Sue. It's okay. It just shows we're all on the same wavelength. We all have the same opinions. And I think we've all, studied her enough that she's pretty predictable. Space Cat says Duchess Delulu would only marry up, but she wouldn't consider it up because she's queen of the universe. That's exactly how I feel. Like, I think maybe Tom Jr. thought that she was marrying up, but Meghan, she's the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? Janet says he looks like the guy from Full House. He does. He does. Squeegee said if she thought he could provide something she could get from her family, then yes, I guess. But I don't know his family's social standing. I think from what I remember, his family was Jewish, and I think this is in Tom Bower's Revenge, they were not happy with Meghan marrying him. The first was the religion difference, and the second thing was they didn't feel that she would be family oriented. Like, I think they wanted grandchildren, and they didn't think Meghan would put her career on hold, allegedly, to provide grandchildren. Sue says she marries up but thinks she's a superior one. Exactly. Okay, so let's go to the next question. And okay, so now I want to think about, what do you think about the comment that Trevor may have been trying to marry her and nailing her down? To me, this says a little bit about how he feels, like how insecure he felt in his relationship, right? That he felt he needed to, I don't know, trap her, right? That's kind of what it sounds like. Ivy says she just saw an opportunity. Space Cat says, bet she was 43% Jewish that day. Squeegee says, laugh out loud, and they were right. Qual says, I thought that was the alleged first marriage to Joe, who was Jewish. Now I'm confused. I'm pretty sure that Trevor was, because I don't know why I remember about something about breaking the glass. And yeah, if anyone, if you want to do a Google search and check, let me know. But I'm pretty sure, because in Tom Bauer's book, there's no mention of Joe. So I don't know. Yeah. So to me, when there's this comment about Trevor having, trying to rush into this marriage, actually, doesn't that sound, oh my gosh, okay, I have a revelation, guys. Basically, Meghan did that to Harry. She nailed him down quickly, right? Allegedly. Meghan must have made him felt insecure in their relationship, that he felt he needed to nail her down. Like, someone who feels secure in their relationship and their love doesn't want to nail someone down, right? Like, they're secure in their relationship. Okay, Koala says, oh, okay, got it. No, there isn't in Bauer's book, just Trevor. Yeah, I think so too. Okay, so I will go to the next question then. Do you guys think that being, in quotation marks, control freak, like it says in Lady C's book, during wedding planning is out of the ordinary? And knowing Meghan, do you think that her being, in quotation marks, control freak, like, would you expect it? I mean, I know the answer to that, right? But do you think like that was an indication of things to come? And do you think she did the same thing during her wedding to Harry? And you know what I found surprising? I'm going to open the book one more time. Lady C says, with regards to Meghan's marriage to Trevor, what she wanted, she intended to get. And I was like, wow, doesn't that sound like what Meghan wants, Meghan gets? And I wonder if Lady C, like, that was a subtle way of trying to show the parallels between the two weddings. Kelly says, Trevor and her were together for 6 years. Koala says, in Nutmeg's instance, yeah, she was a total control freak. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. And I think she tried we know all the stories about her wedding to Harry, right? That she wanted the red carpet, but they told her, no, you can only get a blue carpet. So she said, well, I don't want it anyway, right? Or the tiara incidents, or, wanting to spray perfume in this beautiful chapel. Oh my gosh. Koal says, oh my God, Harry's repeated those words. Exactly. So this is a pattern of behavior. And I think Lady C probably used those words on purpose to show that, right? Stephen says, tiara, Harry wanted Meghan to have her choice, not the Queen's selection. Yep. Space Cat says, Bridezilla's walk among us. Meghan is probably the best Bridezilla in the universe. 43% I just saw her. Shandy says, yes, I like your connection. She clearly forces them to commit. Yep. Shandy says, didn't Corey propose to? So that's a good question, because there was, oh my gosh, this was like just recently it came out. I think it was the producer or something like that of Suits who had just met Meghan, and when he found out that she was marrying the prince or was dating Prince Harry, he said something like, oh, I thought she was engaged to someone else. So that was maybe like 2-3 weeks ago. This like made it into the press. Let me know if you all remember that. Sue says, Meghan, I think, behaved like a Bridezilla, super controlling. That would have been a warning to Trevor. Yep. Run. Run. Lee says, yeah. Catherine turns heads. Meg turns stomachs. Ivy says she can't help herself. She is always controlling. Agreed. Oh my gosh, what is going on? Do you guys hear the sirens? I hope not. I hope it's not bothering you. Okay, so I have 2 more questions about this, and then we'll go on to the fun questions that we've all been waiting for. Okay, so does the emphasis on partying over the ceremony mean anything? Like, do you think does that show anything about Meghan's feelings toward her marriage to Trevor? Kelly says Meghan thinks she's such a PR guru that the wedding was one big PR gig, control freak. And it was a merging opportunity too. The wedding was a merging opportunity because George Clooney and I think Princess Eugenie's fiance at the time, they were in business together for a wine or something, and then they merged the wine at the reception. Like, who does that? Oh my gosh. Steven says there was a rumor that Meghan told Harry she was with issue and took Eugenie's date. Yeah, allegedly. She had to rush it along. Yeah, I heard that also. Squeegee says just another example of her trying to change protocol on a several 100-year-old institution to suit her wants. Exactly. Qual says I did hear that, and I wouldn't be surprised as she was still living with Corey when dating Harry. I agree. I think I need to do a live stream like section about that. Lee says the sirens outside is Meg in a high-speed car chase right by my neighborhood. Oh my gosh. Qual says I think it was a vodka, not a wine. Okay. Yeah, it was some sort of alcohol. I don't know. Squeegee says, don't think it would matter if she were Stephen. He would have been entitled to marry before because his place in succession. It could be Squeegee. I think so too. And I think she might have used it to rush along the engagement to Harry. And then because allegedly, when they were in Australia, and by this point they were in Australia 3 days or so after Princess Eugenie's wedding. So they had been married for 5 months by then. But allegedly, people heard her say, or him say to her, "Are you really pregnant this time?" Allegedly. So that to me is an indication that she has said she was pregnant and not really pregnant, and Harry knew about that, allegedly. Space Cat says, yeah, it's all for show. They probably were merging. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Qual says, you put it so politely, Stephen. Raven says she's always been a control freak, as in the footage, yep, of her when she was a child. Yep. Qual says, LOL, Lee. Space Cat says she saved her nicer dress for the party after marrying Harold. Ocean Gal says, does anyone think Meg told Harry she was pregnant to speed up the wedding and had the miscarriage after, allegedly? C says yes. Squeegee says, I do agree with that. If she said that, it was to get the engagement in the first place, not move up the date. Oh, you guys, Sandra's here. Number 28. I know I say this every time Sandra's here, but I have to tell you all, Sandra was my 28th subscriber. Yeah, okay. Kelly says yes. Lee says, had to marry quickly before the moon bump got a puncture. Oh my gosh, Qual says yes. Allegedly, someone overheard him ask that. Okay, I'll go to my final question on the Trevor Engelson topic, and then we'll go into the funny questions. So how do you think Trevor felt about having the partying aspect of their wedding be the priority over the ceremony? And to those people that just came in, I read 2 snippets from Lady Colin Campbell's book about Trevor and Meghan's wedding in Jamaica, and it discusses how the ceremony was only 15 minutes and the priority was on the partying. Hi, Not Quite Royal. I'm glad you're here. Oh, and Squeegee was also my first member. So we have a number 1 and a number 28. Steven says, did Meghan go through the ice hockey team before or after Corey? I think it was before. I think it was like right after Trevor, if I'm not mistaken, according to Bauer's book, from what I remember, because I think Tom Bauer was talking about how Trevor Engelson's family were really upset at her Instagram posts or something like that, talking about the hockey team. Qual says, of course she did, and I believe it was when she gate crashed at Inskip's wedding. Kelly says, I think she was losing Harry and had to get married quick. And at the same time, Kelly, I think she was losing her her job too. So she had to nail that down real quick because it wasn't just losing Harry, it was her livelihood also, I believe, allegedly. Sandra says, Ocean Gal, yes, allegedly with the pregnancy. Not Quite Royal is saying hi to everyone. Koala says hi back. Kelly says, I want to be a member. I created memberships just recently and I designed some badges and some emojis. So I think if I'm not mistaken, like underneath the video, there might be a join button. So feel free if you all want to. Not Quite Royal says, hi there, Koala. Koala says, Puck Bunny before. Squeegee says they were both younger and I could see an emphasis on the party that the ceremony, especially if they had a legal one already. That's a good point, Squeegee. Hi, Sandra. Lee says, really strange that Meg destroyed the photos from the wedding. It is really, really weird. And the video. Hi, C. Stephen says, I think Trevor tolerated it to please her, but I assume he wasn't happy and with none of their families. I think so too. And I think so what I'm trying to get at here is a pattern where Meghan makes her partner feel that at any moment she'll go away, whether or not that's true. And I feel like this whole thing with Trevor wanting to nail down Meghan, Meghan making the ceremony not a priority, these are all like things that Trevor might be taking in and recognizing like, okay, she's not so invested, so I gotta keep up. I gotta keep doing more. I gotta keep doing more in order to keep her. And I think she did the same thing with Harry, even though I think in reality, in her mind, she was the one that felt like she might have been losing control. So she was doing everything she could to keep him, but then she treated him, I don't know, in a way that he had to chase her, if that makes sense. Sue says maybe Trevor was so smitten he didn't get the significance of such a quick drive-through style ceremony until later on. It could be. Squeegee says, Kelly, if you're on iPhone, you need to go to a computer to join. Oh, thank you, Squeegee. I didn't know that. Not Quite Royal says, I know someone who is a very close friend of Trevor's. Oh, that's interesting. If they ever want to come on the show, let me know. I'd love to, find out some, pick their brain if they were at the wedding. Koala says, everything Nutmeg does is weird. Yeah, completely. Lee says, Meg should just go off and marry herself. She loves herself enough. Yep. Yep. Okay, guys, so I'm going to get into the fun questions because I think we talked about this topic quite a bit. Also, if there are any other topics that you guys want to bring up and I can talk about it in the next live stream, that would be great. So let me know either in the chat or you can send me an email and I'll try to incorporate it. So that's the end of the clip. I thank you for listening. I appreciate your time. If you're interested in this content, please let me know. Leave comments. And yeah, please like and subscribe and share. I appreciate you all. I will talk to you all soon. Goodbye.